Okay, so before this video starts, I need to give a little backstory, If you don't care about why this video is going to suck, you can skip to this timestamp right here. So, you might have already seen your Rhythm Have an Iceberg, like, that's great, it's 2 hours long and stuff like that. And yeah, while I was working on it, I saw in the Rhythm Have Discord, it's like, oh, they were working on it, and I'm like, oh, that hurt a little, And it just did. So it's just like, so you might see a little drop of quality, but it gets back up, I'm sure of it. So it's just a little foreboding of what's gonna go on, It might suck. I don't have a lot of budget, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. Rhythm Heaven, probably one of my most favorite game series out there. And actually, no, it is my favorite game series. It's great, it's fun, and extremely charming. That's why we're going to be looking at this iceberg today. If you don't know what an iceberg is, it basically means whatever's at the top is some pretty well-known stuff, and at the bottom is some pretty obscure stuff. This iceberg was made by AK Family Home. You should probably subscribe to him and follow him on Twitter, because he's just that cool. Anyways, with the intro out of the way, let's begin. Level 1, The Surface. Remix 10 Parodies. Even if you don't know what Rhythm Heaven is, you've probably seen the Remix 10 parody before. And if you still haven't seen one of those, you've probably seen a ringside parody before. Now what is a Remix 10? A normal remix in Rhythm Heaven means at least 4 minigames get put into one song. And the Remix 10 is all of those minigames in that specific installment into one medley. Rhythm Heaven Silver. The game that was just shown in the intro of this video. But what exactly is Rhythm Heaven Silver? Well, the first Rhythm Heaven game was Rhythm Tengoku, and it was always released in Japan, so it was only in Japanese. So Rhythm Heaven fans just said, you know what, I'll translate it myself. And then Rhythm Heaven Silver was made. If you're wondering why it was named Rhythm Heaven Silver instead of Rhythm Tengoku or, I don't know, Rhythm Heaven, it's because the second game's Japanese version is called Rhythm Heaven Gold. So that's how the title came to be, because silver to gold. It just makes sense. Rhythm Heaven Gigamix. Rhythm Heaven Gigamix is a fan-made project combining every single Rhythm Heaven minigame ever into one giant song. Except Rockers. That game wasn't included in for some reason. Until someone else made Gigamix with Rockers. And then another someone else came in and quote-unquote fixed it. I'm too lazy to know what was changed, but the fact is that there's 3 different versions of Gigamix, so that's kinda cool. Kotakichi, Takeuchi, Takeuchi, Takachi? Kotakichi, or however you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure what this means, but my best guess is his Twitter where he draws his own memes, but I could be wrong. Oh, I should probably mention that he's the main artist for Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, that's why he's in this iceberg. Rhythm Tengoku Arcade Machine. After Rhythm Tengoku was released, Sega approached the development team with an offer to make an arcade version. Apparently one of the staff members thought it was a joke, so that's pretty funny. There are a few differences between the GBA and the arcade version of the game. The main differences are that the first row of minigames get tempo up versions, and I think about 1/3 of the minigames get multiplayer versions. Manzai Birds. Manzai Birds is an endless game in Rhythm Heaven Fever that was scrapped in the English version because of the Japanese puns, and also because the localizations weren't funny enough to make English puns. The gameplay centers around 2 birds in a comedian act called Manzai, hence the name. The player is saying yes to the big bird when he says a pun, but if he repeats a pun, you hit him, just like what any reasonable person would do. In the English version, it got replaced by Mr. Upbeat, which was originally in Rhythm Tengoku, so that's pretty cool. WarioWare crossovers. The WarioWare devs are actually the same people who made Rhythm Heaven, so because of that, they made numerous references to both games. In Rhythm Heaven, there's one challenge tree that has custom textures that represent the characters in WarioWare. In WarioWare, Rhythm Heaven characters can be seen in cutscenes or even in the microgames.
Level 2. The Body. Rhythm Heaven character reference in Smash 4.
In Smash 4 3DS, Sneaky Spirit is one of the enemies in Smash Run. It's pretty fun how you kill it, because it actually is rhythm based, so at least it's faithful to the series.
The Monkey Watch does not operate in seconds.
I'm guessing this is referring to the fact that the Monkey Watch song is 160 beats per minute, and in the game, you have to press the button for 1 every 2 beats, which means it's basically 80 beats per minute, and if it was 60 beats per minute, it would operate in seconds. But unfortunately, it's not.
The dazzles were small enough to fit in an ice cube tray.
This is referring to one of the items you can get in Rhythm Heaven Megamix. The item you get is referring to the dazzles, and it's an ice cube tray. So that confirms that they actually in an ice cube tray, and that they're incredibly small.
Mr. Game & Watch's job.
In Working Dough 1 and 2, Game & Watch can be seen in the background pulling some levers or drinking tea. Also, he gets stuck in one of the balls at one point.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Playan.
Playan is a media player made to play MP3 and MP4 files, and shows a little stick figure man named Playan. He would later be in Rhythm Tengoku in the minigame Nightwalk, and the minigame looks exactly like the original MP3 player. And then he would be featured in the 3DS music player.
Nightwalk fish and small pillbox found unused in Megamix.
This is referring to the sprite sheets in Nightwalk and Pillbox, and how they have assets that are only available in their sequels that have the fish and small Philbots. My best guess as to why they were in the files is that since both Nightwalk and Philbots have sequels that use the same sprite sheet as their prequel, when they were remaking the sprites, they didn't know only some of those sprites would be used.
Vocals in Megamix being replaced by MIDI instruments.
In the English version, there's no vocals in remixes, just MIDIs. However, in the Japanese version, there are vocals. Usually Rhythm Heaven vocalization is top notch, but in Megamix they were really lazy. And I think the reason why they didn't try in Megamix is because Rhythm Heaven in the West, unfortunately, didn't get much sales, so there was no motive to try too hard on the vocalization.
The Lockstep Challenge.
The Lockstep Challenge is where you get 2 ESs and play Lockstep on both of them, but the catch is, you gotta play them not in sync with each other. Lockstep is already regarded as one of the hardest minigames in Rhythm Heaven series, but now, it's almost nearly impossible.
Moai Doo-Wop 2.
I guess this is referring how forgettable the sequels are, or maybe talking about how difficult the minigame actually is, because, surprise surprise, Moai Doo-Wop 2 is also regarded as one of the hardest minigames in the series.
Ashley Dawn Saltwater's desk.
Pretty self-explanatory. In the entrance to the museum, Saltwater's desk has an Ashley doll, which is a WarioWare character if you didn't know.
DJ school graduates aren't actual DJs.
If you get a perfect in DJ school, you will receive a flyer, and at the end of it, it says, "Notice, people interested in becoming real DJs need not apply. Our facilities can only handle people who want to look like DJs."
The Sick Beats doctor is actually called Dr. Cutlery.
In the original description for the game he's in, he was actually given a name, but for some reason, they didn't use it. There are, however, different names for the doctor in every language. For Japanese and Korean, Dr. Virus. In English, Dr. Cutlery. In French, Dr. Fork. In German, Dr. Galbelsberg. In Italian, the Viral Rhythm Doctor. Spanish, Contagious Rhythm Doctor. Dutch and Chinese, Sick Beats Doctor. And Russian, Doctor from Sick Beats.
Level 3. The Bottom of the Iceberg. The fourth member of the Clappy Trio.
In the first and 7th remix of Rhythm Tengoku, one of the sections in the game is a 4th Clappy Trio member, which wouldn't make them a trio anymore. So I guess that's why they killed them afterwards.
The Rhythm League.
If you get a perfect on the final remixes, you usually get a letter from the Rhythm League congratulating you. What's their purpose? To make you feel happy. Just kidding. Nobody knows, and that's what makes them so great. Hi, Post Editor here. While trying to find some pictures of the Rhythm League's letters, I found out more about these mysterious group of people, and I just wanted to let you know more about them. Also, I might be a bit more quiet since family's around, and you might hear some more background noise and white noise than usual. So yeah. Anyways, the chairman of the Rhythm League is Spacecrafts from Space Dance, who sends you a letter if you perfect Remix 8 on the DS. The Rhythm League advisor is the captain for Blue Birds, who sends you a letter if you perfect Remix 10 on the DS. And the Wrestlers Rhythm League fan club rep is the person that sends you the letter if you perfect Remix 10 in Fever. Apparently, the league also sent a vial to the Sick Beats Doctor that contained the microbes from Micro too. So, it's all coming together. So it seems like this Rhythm League has more prominent role than I first thought. They may be the reason why all of the Rhythm Heaven minigames exist. Who knows? The Rhythm Heaven lore sure is complex, huh?
Failing Quizzo in practice.
Well, it says it right there. You can fail the minigame Quizzo in the practice. Because why the heck not? The minigame is already broken as it is. How to do a call and response minigame without any music? Why not make it more broken? Speaking of how broken Quizzo is, in Rhythm Heaven Megamix, if you get a perfect opportunity and fail Quizzo in the practice, you'll get an automatic perfect. Now the game is even more broken. Yay!
Mannequin Factory manufactures Claptrap Man.
In Rhythm Tengoku, there's an endless minigame available, and it shows, you guessed it, a mannequin factory, putting eyes and turning around a weird-looking Eggman. However, this isn't the only time we see this egghead, because in Rhythm Heaven Fever, he's in one of the two-player endless minigames. That's a real obscure place to be in, but he's there, trapping and clapping some hands. He then later appears to be in Megamix. The only difference being is that only one player gets to play as him, as opposed to two.
Megamix International Fonts Removal.
Okay, so I'm not too sure on this one. I've got two theories. One is that the original Japanese version of Megamix had multiple fonts in the game, but in every other language, they've kept it as one font. My other theory is the title screens for all the minigames in Megamix. In previous installments, the title fonts were almost all unique. However, in Megamix, they've changed the fonts of all the title screens to be extremely identical to each other. I think my second theory has a higher chance of being correct.
Micro and Munchie Mop are the same.
Well, to be specific, Micro 2 and Munchie Mop are the same. You may be asking, what? How are they the same? They're completely different. And to that, I say, yeah, they're completely different. But they're actually the same. And by that, I mean the cues. They're both keep the beat minigames, which means you're going to be constantly pressing on beat and other cues the game will give you. Micro and Munchie have you pressing about the second beat in a 1-2 beat. What that means is the beat is just 1 go, and then you press whenever the 2 is up. Their second cues is a quick 1-2, so 1-2 but half, like 2 go. Third cue is 3 beats in a row, like 3 go go go. Now technically speaking, Munchie Monk has a cue for the default 1-2 beat, while Micro doesn't, but rhythmically, they're the same.
3 out of 4 Rhythm Rockets are the same.
Hey Tim, for launch party, the blue, green, and white rockets all go on the count of 1, 2, 3. Red still goes on a 1, 2, 3, 4. In Screwbot Factory, if you don't already have a perfect for the gray bots, The pattern is 1 grab, 2 hold, 3 release, 4 wait. The white ones are 1 grab, 2 release, 3 wait, 4 wait. Pretty self-explanatory. It is weird that three of them are the same timing, but I guess it's just tricky because of the countdown. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Dial 555 route out for Rapman English Vortex.
In Rhythm Heaven for the DS, there's a phone toy that has Rhythm Tengoku references, including Rapman. Since the DS version of the game is the first Rhythm Heaven game to be released in the West, they had to make English voices for them. And holy crap, do they suck.
Yo! Yo! Yeah! Yo!
They sound so punchable and annoying. Holy frick. Maybe that's the reason why Rapman wasn't in my list. They still don't sound as bad as English Space Dance. Ugh. Still gives me nightmares to this day.
Missing board meeting pig in Remix 9.
There are usually 4 board meeting pigs, but in Remix 9, he's gone. He probably turned into a lion and went off to be the 4th member of the Puppy Trio instead. And that's when he got executed. A very sad and unfortunate story for the 4th member of the board meeting pigs and Clappy Trio.
Unused Tanuki and Monkey minigame.
This unused minigame can be found in Rhythm Tengoku, where you are the person at the right and you copy the beat of both of them. You get 3 tries for each pattern, and you get a score, and if you mess up 3 times, you get a game over.
The Packing Pest worker is Munchy Mom.
In Packing Pest, there's a moment in the song where the camera moves over to the worker, and you see the man behind the munch, Munchy Monk. In addition, Munchy Monk has his own endless minigame computer, so who knows, maybe he's a distant relative. One of his co-workers also has a weird nose, so maybe they're all relatives.
DS Remix 9 Music Theory.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I have absolutely no idea what this means. My best guess is it's rapid transitions, or maybe it's the fact you can hear built the scale slightly in the background before it actually comes. I don't know. Remix 9 is just a weird remix all around, with no clear theming and a weird rhythm. Maybe that's what they mean. I'm not sure. But what I can say is that cool monkeys are purple.
Chorus Kid crouching.
There's a weird amount of unused animations in the chorus kids. There's one crouching, obviously, but there's also one being happy, looking up, which is exclusively in Megamix, which is even weirder, and then one where the kid is just blinking. These sprites exist for what seems like no reason. Who knows, maybe the artist was just bored. Also, while I was on my journey to find these sprite sheets, I found a sprite sheet for Big Rock Finish and it's very cursed. Oh god. Okay guys, this is crazy. Azura found this Easter egg that has just been found in March 22nd, 2021 in Mega Mix Firefighter. If you hold one of the shoulder buttons while pressing A, you get a fart. So it's essentially a fart button. This was the information we needed in the Rhythm Heaven Megaverse, honestly. This is so amazing.
Level 4. The Deep Sea. The business card man is the stomp farmer.
This must be a confusing sentence for someone who doesn't know anything about Rhythm Heaven. Alright, first of all, who's the business card man? In Rhythm Heaven DS, there's a rhythm toy called Business Card. You literally just move a business card. What? And there's a man who's just messing around with his business card. So that's who that is. Now, who's the stomp farmer? He's the stomp farmer who stomps while he farms. He says, a lot. Now, back to the business card man. On said business card, you'll see a phone number. So now, we go back to the phone rhythm toy. It's all coming together. When you call that number, you'll get this. So if the Clodhopper Pickens name on the business card didn't give it away, yeah, they're the same person. I'd like to retract that last statement. Apparently in the Japanese version, they had different names. Plus their faces are like completely different. Which I'm glad that Crop Stopper is not this random average Joe. I have a weird fond over him. And so do many others apparently, which is weird. But hey, he's a charming guy. We stand Crop Stop.
Rhythm IQ.
Rhythm Heaven was more so meant to be an educational music game, hence the name Rhythm IQ. Slowly, over development, that trait was fading more and more. I mean, it still teaches you about different types of rhythms, just not explicitly. It's like someone asks you to teleport on top of a mountain, and then you just do it, but you don't know how you did it. Like someone asks, how did you do it? And you say, I don't know, just do it. And then they do it. What was the topic about again?
Japanese Trey.
Trey is one of the story characters in Mega Mix. He was a cool tree dude. Now, what does the original Japanese version of Trey look like? Well, he looks like this. Yeah, he has big lips, which may not look bad at first, especially since the love rap people have those lips. The difference is skin. Yeah, that wouldn't look good in the West, would it? If you don't know why Trey having big lips would be problematic, it's because of racism. And racism is bad.
Original GBA drum game demo.
This game was basically a prototype for Rhythm Tengoku. This game is a drumming game that will later be repurposed into a side drum game mode in Rhythm Tengoku.
Tap Troop DS.
So one of the sprite sheets for Tap Troop, down at the bottom left, you'll see some interesting pixel art that resembles the Tap Troop's legs. It was later theorized that those legs were scrapped in the DS version for an unused minigame, and was later used as a reference for the legs of the Tap Troop. Another possibility is that Tap Troop as a whole was scrapped in DS and then later put in Fever. But what we do know is that those are definitely pixels.
Sunku using the B remix as an excuse to launch his daughter's music career.
Yeah, so first of all, the B remix was sung by, at the time, 6-year-old Sunko's daughter. It was also sung in English, which is pretty weird. But back to that whole launching her music career thing. While I can't exactly confirm or deny this, because all I got was a jumbled up Google Translated mess blog post that says the following: why don't you come here with such a picture game? The more you want to dig in, the more feeling of betrayal you get back to our sound production team. How about something like this? Whoa. This I'm a Lady Now was also created with a cool, fashionable, cute, and sexy image, but it came back as a fun game to the fullest. There is plenty of betrayal in a good way. What does that even mean? A 6-year-old sang this, by the way. Regarding English poetry, I asked Mr. Nobuhara, who I met when I visited New York last October, girls are more women than adults think. Needless to say, I think there may have been a few translation errors in that. See, because like the weird thing is just like you see this and then you remember like this is a Word of Heaven song, you know? It's just weird. Like, why does this exist? Like, they really just asked her to dance in a blank room, in a bland room, for like 20 minutes. It's like straight up. See, the weird thing is just like, the lyrics are questionable. Yeah, once again, lyrics questionable. They did not have a lot of budget, did they? It's like the whole room was just a 6-year-old dancing, and then the cameraman just moving everywhere. It's just like, alright, great. Look at those dancers. What you gonna do? AMA, she's already prepared to give me Ask Me Anything. I am Sunku's daughter. Ask Me Anything. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that Sunku wanted to launch her music career. Again, don't know why it's in English. You know what? Great spelling. You know what? I can't spell Japanese. I can't spell anything in Japanese. So you know what? I won't judge. Does she even know what these lyrics mean? I don't think she does. I'm not gonna get copyrighted, am I? This is technically a video game music track, right? I hope I won't get copyrighted. They have terrible lighting in this room, by the way. What? There was 2 of them. Wait, hold on. What?
Barusta's backstory.
There was a set of Japanese comics that were based on Word of Heaven on DS. One of them includes the Barista's backstory. By the way, the Barista is a dog, and the dog in this comic. Just a little heads up. Alright, now let's see this comic. For Once Upon a Time. Sad the dog. Random dude with the holding dog has headphones from said dude. The dude likes the headphones. Walked with him. Saw the sunlight with him. The dude died. And the dog turned into a barista. What a moving backstory.
The 6th Karate Man minigame.
I have no idea what this means. Let's count the Karate Man games. We got Karate Man Returns, Karate Man Kicks, Karate Man Combos, the Karate Man prequel, and Karate Man Master. But that's when I started thinking and remembered that there's sequels to 3 of these games in their respective launch titles. So technically speaking, there's 8 Karate Man games. Get wrecked, AK Family Home. I just debunked your iceberg, which proves that Shy Guy is the better Mario enemy. Confirmed.
The rockets are inspired by Watashi's blood.
So if you don't know who they are, here's a reference picture for both of these groups. Yeah, they do look pretty similar, but all I've got for sources is this wiki page, which doesn't really prove anything. Talk Rockers. It says here that the characters are modeled after a band named Watashi's Slug. What is the reference? I'd like to know, Musket the Cat. Talk. 11:42 November 26, 2018. It's just back the page here. And it goes back here, but I don't even know what's from.
Rhythm Heaven Keeper NFR.
What does NFR mean? Apparently it means not for resale, so, yeah. Rhythm Heaven Fever is not for resale. I feel like that was pretty obvious. I think I'm missing something, but that's all I'm gonna say about this matter.
Spider-free candy applies to the existence of spider-filled candy.
The sign on the right in Packing Pass says spider-free candy, which means that spiders really like candy, and that there's been a bunch of cases where spiders were in someone's candy. Great, now we got spiders filled with razor blades in candies that are also filled with razor blades. Candies are fun.
The forbidden phone number. Do not dial.
I'm pretty sure this is just a joke entry, but at the right, it shows us what the phone number is, so let's try it. Alright, so we've got this number. Let's hope it's breaking on me. Let's see if we can find anything. Oh. Oh, that's something. Something does not seem right here. What, huh? There's no music. Oh god. There is no music. I am scared. Hello? Anybody? The seesaw, see if anything happens. Oh no. Oh, I'm scared. There is no music. I swear I didn't pirate this game. Help me. Oh, no. I can't do anything. I planned it. That is not good. Well, that was certainly interesting. Yeah.
Nintendo Badge Arcade foreshadowed Mega Mix localization.
There was a free application called Badge Arcade that lets you get badges to customize your 3DS home menu. There are different sets of badges you can get, and there are 23 sets of Rhythm Heaven badges. Obviously, since the 3DS came out before Mega Mix, the Mega Mix Rhythm Heaven characters got their official names way before Mega Mix was even confirmed to be localized.
Level 5. The Abyss. Rhythm Heaven is a Mario game.
If you consider WarioWare to be a Mario game, then so is Rhythm Heaven, considering that they're in the same universe. Remember the WarioWare entry at the beginning? If you don't consider Rhythm Heaven to be a Mario game, then just plain wrong.
Prototype Air Border.
So I looked at the wiki, and I found the picture of the prototype, but I got absolutely no information on where it came from, or just extra trivia in general. I tried to use Tin Eye, but I found nothing. All I got is an enigma. What did this picture come from? Maybe I just suck at researching. I don't know. But it exists, that's for sure.
5 phone key regional differences.
Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. Every single region has a different 5 symbol in the phone for it. Japanese just has an 8 note. North America has a 5 and a note head. European just has a 5, and Korean has a small 8 note.
Beat City.
Beat City is the long-lost cousin of Rhythm Heaven, who was born in Chernobyl after being abandoned by their parents. The result of that being a terrible rhythm game, known for the Rhythm Heaven community to be considered a horrendous bootleg. I played it. It was not that bad, to be honest with you. It was just extremely boring. Also, there were only like 3 songs, so that just made it even worse. In conclusion, Beat City sucks.
You.
It's you. It's you. It's you. What else is there to say besides, it's you. The main character of Rhythm Heaven as a whole. You. The one that decides the fate of the people in the minigame. Will they get a good ending? A bad ending? Or something in between? Whatever it is, you were the cause of all of it. It's all your fault. It's you.
Okay, how am I supposed to pronounce this? I don't know. Something Tengoku.
Okay, so apparently it says written Tengoku and its prize. But take that with a grain of salt, as I got that from a random Twitter comment. It could be possible, or it could be an entirely different thing. Who knows? People who speak Japanese, that too. And this is referring to the demo of the GPA version, where the games constantly told you to practice the real game. Real shameless, guys. Real shameless.
Fork.
Fork is an almighty being, and is a topic of discussion that should not be taken lightly. It is the reason why this world exists, Rhythm Heaven and real life. It can catch peas at Mach speed. He will devour your soul if you don't obey his orders. Also, apparently there's a spoon that exists, so that's pretty good.
Rocker's 2 button controls are a remnant from an alternate dimension build.
Rogers 2 is the only DS game to use a button as one of its controls rather than just the touchscreen. They probably just wanted to be different and unique. But guess what? Because of that, I absolutely despise Rogers 2 because of that stupid L button. So yeah, in an alternate universe, Rhythm Heaven DS games all had button controls. Would that have been a better option? Maybe. Maybe not. Fair enough.
Sudoku is the samurai drummer.
Samurai Drummer is mainly Rhythm Tengoku, and he's your tutorial guide for that game. Sunku is the main producer for the Rhythm Heaven series. My man just made a self-insert, I can't believe it. Sorry, his persona, if you will. Later in the games, he just resorted to just being a cameo and anything else.
Goat Ascension.
You might think this is a joke entry, but it's real. In Megamix, there's a pachinko game you can play where you feed turnips to a goat. And when you level up, you go to the next level. There are 3 different types of turnips. However, the one we'll be focusing on is the gold turnip, which gives you 2 times experience and gives you the chance of getting turnip fever, which will ascend the goat to the ultimate level. Look at that goat. What's it gonna do?
Build to scale DS is better than the Wii version.
I mean, this is just true. Who would disagree? The Chad built to scale on the DS is a great first minigame. It's simple to understand. We got Do Re Mi Fa So, so it's a simple beat, but also a banger. And we also got visual distractions. This is a great minigame to let you know what you'll be looking forward to in the game. Then we got the Virgin built to scale on the Wii. It's the same beat over and over again, but with different tempos. You might say that's what the previous one did as well, but the DS version had different sets of pitches. Wii is just speed or slow down. How lame. There's also the fact that the widget can come from the left or right, which means, unless you remember it, you can't play this game blind.
Rice Bowls.
First and second contact both have mentioned the pork rice bowls. One where the alien says the astronaut that the humans left him there, and the other one where the father says to the alien that he loves pork rice bowls. I mean, who doesn't?
SCP-5831 Physical American Megamix release.
Unfortunately, there's no physical copy of localized Megamix, so you can't show it off to your friends. And just like the American copy, SCP-5831 doesn't exist. Not yet, anyway. Oh my god, I'm finally done! Okay, this is time for the outro, huh? Okay, so I'm doing this outro when I've like edited basically everything. Holy frick, this took a long time. Okay, I hope it's worth it. It probably won't be, so that sucks. But just that was not a clap. That's a better clap. Thanks for watching through the end. This, it was just a lot, and I'm glad you're still here, even though there's a very much better Rhythm Heaven Iceberg that's literally available. But you know what? Just thanks. Please subscribe and like. I don't think I'm gonna get a job, so this is my only opportunity. I am finished with everything. This is my only chance. Yeah. Outro music. Let's go. Yo, wouldn't it be funny if the outro music was like not Rhythm Heaven based at all? Just like a random song? Yo, that'd be pretty funny. Not gonna lie.